Hi. Hello. Welcome to episode 35 of NoHoldBarredPod. That's Sal.
Hello.
And I'm Don. Welcome back. Just the two of us on this episode, which is nice. And but wanted to say thank you to our last couple of guests who've joined us on our new sort of side stream of podcast called Discussions. We had Will Kerridge on Monday, was it? I can't remember. Our last episode was Monday. Will, who was viral,
went Tuesday,
viral last week for... Yeah, that's right. Will, who went viral for taking down Richard Tice in Westminster Hall in front of 2,000 students, which was pretty cool. And then the week before was James Copper, who's an ADHD lecturer, expert, consultant, and all-round awesome guy. And he was lovely to chat to as well. So,
Man of many hats, it turns out. We'll talk about that later.
A fan of Cats? The musical?
Hats. Man of many hats. Dear God, man. He does also have cats, but that's a different
does
topic.
He? Right.
He has
I didn't know whether you meant Cats,
but he has several interesting hats of things he does, which we will catch up on later in a massive coincidence. But anyway, I digress.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So we've got quite a lot to talk about this week. We might end up doing two parts, I reckon. But should we start with lovely PMQs? Get it out of the way.
Yeah, I've had a little break, haven't I?
Yeah.
Prior to Starmer starting chatting, things they did and didn't say, Don. They didn't say anything about it being International Disabled Persons Day. They did mention the parliamentary president and his delegation from Montenegro being in the house. That's a familiar sounding country to me.
Yeah, we know a bit about that.
Don't we have some links with Montenegro? Wonder who they're visiting. Anyway.
Crypto.
Anyway. Harborn.
We're coming on to that later, yes.
So I'm going to entitle this week's PMQs the list episode. Starmer stood up and started listing lots of little cuts that they've made, and then started talking about how they're making baby formula more affordable as part of their child poverty strategy, which I thought initially was interesting. I thought, well, okay, let's talk about your rebel MPs. Any apology? No, nothing forthcoming. Righto. Ian Lavery, I think it was, stood up and spoke about how the North East is still absolutely austerity buggered because of the Tories. They have a massively reduced life and salary expectancy. Unemployment's up. They all deserve better. Can the PM assure his region that there's something on the horizon to look forward to? And Starmer, in his defence, for the first time, I think, since the general election, in my opinion, gave his first proper stuffing to the Tories for the legacy they've left consistently throughout this PMQ. So more power to him for that. The Tories were all jeering. There's a man stood there like saying austerity's crippling my region. Yeah. And they're all braying him. I know. What the fuck is that? It's an insane asylum. So Starmer lambasted them for jeering. Said tackling poverty is their moral mission. Please. And then started talking about how he's abolished the 2-child cap, which he refused to do for 18 months, so I find it.
Yeah.
Rank hypocrisy. It's just, be honest. You're just not being honest. And it's, it's not a good look. Again. Bad Enoch started roundabout talking about the budget, and she, referring to the Office of Budget Responsibility, she asked, should shit travel uphill? Yes, Kemi, it should. Keir Starmer stood up and he started listing things that Labour have done since they got into government. Badenoch said that he won't answer. She descends into rank hypocrisy, blames Rachel Reeves for everything, levels heavy accusations and says that the Tories have written to the Financial Conduct Authority about Rachel Reeves, which, again, fuck off. Are you joking?
I know.
Will the Prime Minister cooperate with any investigations? And Starmer just said she has completely lost the plot. Or she's losing the plot, rather.
Which is factual.
The OBR guy did the right thing, and then he started listing things again. Badenoch starts quoting Labour MPs slagging Rachel Reeves and Keir Starmer off, and it was just infantile what she was doing. And she says that their errors led to real-world consequences. Rachel Reeves should go. You want to talk about real-world consequences, woman? Step my way.
I know.
Starmer says she has no legs to stand on. List small things. He says that Labour are fixing the Tories' failure, and Badenoch should apologise to Rachel Reeves. Badenoch says nobody believes Starmer. Rachel Reeves is a liar. She called him out on the 2-child cap. How did it suddenly become affordable after him saying for 18 months it was unaffordable? He came back, he got that. I think he's just had his chips, which he should have had 18 months ago. But 3/4 of children in poverty come from working families. The vast majority helped by the budget are working people. The Tories should be ashamed. They are the party of child poverty. All well and good.
Very true.
But what he's also doing, in between the lines, is saying, it's okay, we didn't give money to disabled people or the desperate. That's what he's saying.
I suppose. Yeah.
Badenoch asked why remove the whip? I'm assuming from the 2-child cap rebels. He said the Prime Minister has lost. Okay, it's not a win or lose thing. You're supposed to be doing the best for the country, you imbecile.
That's the problem, isn't it, to them? And it's particularly to Badenoch, I think. It's all a game to her. Every interview we ever see with her is like sniping at this and that and that. Yeah. And she just plays it like a child. Playground game.
She's a child.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She is. Yeah.
Starmer said bringing down child poverty is a moral mission. I just put bellend. Badenoch should apologise for child poverty. It's the hypocrisy. It burns me. It just burns me. Badenoch. I mean, where does she think this money that the government are paying out is going to end up? Because it isn't offshore.
No.
It's not going to be in the pockets of people who save it. It's in the pockets of people who have to spend it. It goes back into the economy, you ignorant gibbon. Sorry, but you know. And here we... forgot it got worse.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
She then says it's a broken budget for Benefit Street.
That's just...
I revert to what I just said.
Disgusting. Yeah. It's pathetic.
Whilst asking she said that there are SEND kids struggling, apparently. So she basically was both slating the MP for unemployment whilst demonising the unemployed. Riddle me that.
Yeah.
Evil scum.
It seems to be a bit of a trend since the budget. I had the radio on this morning, and Nick Ferrari was saying that kids with mental health issues and autism and ADHD need to be looked after. He's really flipped the script on that since the budget. But yeah, I don't know. There's a weird kind of pivot on the right to I think they're just circling round and trying to attack them from a different angle. But they're just using these people as cannon fodder as always. Games.
Starmer asked her if she wanted children in poverty, and then he started listing things again. Very interesting question. I watched it on catch up on Sky, and they didn't put the names up. And I tried to do it via closed caption, and that made some names up too.
No. I'm going to have to get Hansard out again.
An Irish lady asked whether it was time for Irish unity, and constitutional change, which I thought was both interesting and fabulous because, yes, yes, it should be. Have your country back. We're sorry we nicked it. We're terrible people. Fuck me.
Yeah.
And Starmer kind of fluffed it. Didn't want to touch it.
Yeah.
Which, unsurprising, but disappointing.
Maybe to do with something we're going to talk about in a minute, Brexit, but yeah. I don't know.
Well, I mean, Northern Ireland are doing better than any of us are because of.
Yeah, because of Brexit,
So,
yeah. But
nobody should be penalised because of other people's shitheadery, but here we are. Ed Davey, poor bloody Tunbridge Wells have had no water since Monday.
Oh, yeah, I know.
An entire, royal borough. It's beyond. If it had been here,
Yeah.
Oh, everybody would have known about it on Monday.
Yeah,
I found out yesterday, I think. It's basically a public health emergency now.
Yeah.
Southeast Water continually lie about fixing it. And he asked if Starmer would convene Cobra because, apparently they've turned some people back on, but then in order to turn others back on, they've had to turn them back off. And it's just... People are surviving on 8 2-litre bottles of water a day.
Yeah, it's not good enough, is it?
Starmer said it's absolutely shocking state of affairs and the government are bearing down on it. So...
Yeah, okay. Of course they are.
I don't really know what else he can do. Cool for bringing it back into public ownership, but, Ed Davey said the government needs to do more. What have I written there? Something to do with the customs union.
Can I just give you an update on the water just as of now, today?
Oh, sorry, thank you.
I'll just quickly check there, but it says as of today, many homes have restored water, but nearly all are not allowed to drink it. It's not safe for drinking. So You can have your water, but you can't use it. It's really
not good
terrible
enough.
state of affairs in 2025.
We're turning back into a third world country.
It is. That's what it is. I could. Yeah, I won't go
Banana
on about
Republic
that,
at best.
I have a lot to say
I'd
on
say.
that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, Ed Davey is basically saying that we need a customs union with the EU instead of taxes. Will he follow his own economics advice? Which we're going to come on to later, aren't we? So because
a little bit, yeah.
I absolutely mashed that. We'll do it later because I can't remember exactly what he said. And Starmer's reply was essentially, I put mealy-mouthed nudging, but again, I understand it better in that context. We'll talk about it in a minute. I think Paul Holmes, according to the closed captioning on Sky's catch-up, rubbish Lammy's plans for getting rid of the trial by jury business.
Yeah.
And just basically, said it wasn't good enough. And Starmer, now maybe I'm just too gullible and I don't know enough, but Starmer outlined how the Tories broke the justice system, and he quoted a case where a 14-year-old rape survivor is having to wait 4 years for their case to be heard. I can't explain how traumatic and life-defining that is for people.
Yeah, no, it's horrific.
And Starmer broke all the figures down of how many cases actually get to Crown Court. And what he was saying, because we're not talking about rape cases in this instance, we're talking largely about, fraud and that sort of level, but, it doesn't cause...
Yeah.
I don't know what the word I'm searching for is, but, lower level cases. And it didn't sound unreasonable. It's not ideal, but what other options are there?
Employ more
apart
people.
From, reinstituting degrees for people that we need, that we're running out of in this country for nothing. But apart from that, which is going to take a few years to start paying dividends, what do we do in the meantime?
Yeah, I know. I don't know. It's a difficult one. There's something has to be done.
He's trying to get these desperate cases heard sooner. So to do that, he's going to have to pull out lesser cases. It's consequences of Tory psychopathy, and
Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is.
I don't like the man, I don't trust the man, but in that position, I don't know what other options there are. Do we ship more people
best
in
of a
from
bad lot,
overseas?
maybe.
Do we build more courts? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what the solution is, but this is just, it's where we are. Jan Taylor, possibly. No, it was difficult because Sky kept cutting it off and saying, and we'll go back to PMQs, and then they go back to it after the person started talking. It happened like 3 times. I'm like, so somebody in their constituency has got to wait 5 months for the results of an X-ray.
What? That's crazy.
What's Starmer doing? And he said, we're investing more, and he started listing things. And he also threw it at the Tories because it's their fault. It's all their fault. I mean, and they should be facing real world consequences, not just him having a go at them at PMQs. They should be criminalised for all sorts of shit, misconduct in office, dereliction of duty, crimes against humanity. The list is endless. And they won't be.
The problem is, you and I and lots of other people talk about PMQs every week after it's happened and what's been said. But once that's done, it the kind of everything shuts down, and then we wait till next Wednesday till the next load of sound bites, and nothing to my mind really is happening. No,
it's of absolute theatre.
It's the same with, you're saying about a third world country. Think people like Ofcom and Ofgem and Ofwat, all the regulators are fucked. They don't do what they're there to do. In fact, effectively, I think they're making things worse in every industry that they represent. But the government is just allowing things to get worse. Go on.
Similar. Going back to the beginning, International Disabilities Day. Do you know who did support it? The government of Somalia. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, Somalia.
This is where we are.
I know. It's a shame. But we're starting to sound a bit like Farage and his Broken Britain, but there's an awful lot to it.
It is broken. They just want to exploit what's left to break. That's the difference.
Yeah, true.
We're trying to throw real world solutions out there.
Yeah.
Somebody asked about
Carry on.
how during the budget, Reeve said that she wouldn't tax small businesses more, and she has. Will she just be honest? And it turns out that it's a tricky one because of COVID, there was a temporary business rate relief applied to small businesses, and that has come to a natural end. So it's technically not finished. Part of the budget. But now small businesses are obviously struggling even more because since that relief got put in, the cost of living's still not stopped rising.
Yeah, completely.
And again, small businesses are suffering up the arse, and nobody gives a shit.
No, but that's another thing that gets mentioned time and time again, and then nothing ever gets done about it. But
well, Starmer said that they've put transitional relief in so that it's a slow thing, but basically said tough tits, and we all know why. Now, the one question that nearly knocked me off my perch, and I don't even know who it was, but it was a guy whose mum was there and has neurology issues. And he asked specifically about the shortage of neurological surgeons and doctors in this country. I thought, well, yes, indeed. As any regular listeners will know, it's a thing. And asked if Starmer will make it a priority. He suggested making some more specialist centres for neurology, which obviously we need because it affects people who have brains.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how much they work, but people with brains need neurological specialists. Fuck me.
Yeah.
And Starmer, I just put he's going to list things, isn't he? Yes, he does. and that's when I thought, you know what, girl, you've done enough.
Yeah, that's it. Knock it off there. So lists is going to be the episode title for this one, I think. Then. Yeah.
It's annoying though, because some of the stuff he says is quite good that they've done, and some of it, when you drill down into it, it's just a load of bollocks. So that's why it annoys me, because it's just inaccurate.
I know.
And
it's crazy.
False. Fraudulent. But anyway.
Yeah, so anyway, what's Brexit? Should we talk about Brexit a minute? We haven't talked about that for a long time.
Yeah.
Brexit seems to be back on the menu. Sorry, were you finished? Oh, sorry, I jumped in there. I thought you'd finished.
Oh no, I had an idea. It's okay. Sometimes I have a physical or verbal reaction to an idea because, woo, it's exciting. Had I finished? I don't really know. Go on.
Brexit, yeah. Brexit's back.
The UK's
I wrote in my
greatest
notes.
lie never told.
Yeah, Brexit's back, baby. I wrote in my notes. It's still a lot of chatter about Brexit at the moment, isn't there? And the return to the EU, because poll after poll after poll after poll shows the public are sick to the back teeth of it, and analysis and data and everything that comes out. And follow Liz Webster for this, because she's absolutely supreme on her Brexit data and facts.
She's a warrior, man.
She really is, and I'll put a link to her again down below, downstairs. I was going to say that down below. That's not used to.
Only what you meant. It's fine.
In my living room. I'll put a link to Liz. But everything is just pointing us to the fact that the easiest of wins the government could make right now is say, for 2029, we're going to campaign on the general election, and we're going to go back into the EU. And I saw, who was it? It was Lewis Goodall. Yeah. Lewis Goodall on Newsnight the other night talking to Victoria Derbyshire. And Goodall was saying, yeah, I mean, the problem is Labour have at the moment. Sorry, you're okay?
I just don't understand why people are having these conversations before talking about the fact that it was an entirely unconstitutional decision, and there is still a court case pending in the ECHR with Caroline Lucas
to
prove it. And I don't mean you.
Miller
I mean the people who are
know.
legacy cash for countries. Sorry.
No, you're right.
It just, seems to be like a foundational part of the story, and they're not telling it.
It is. It is.
That's the annoyance.
But I think it's sort of, I don't know what's the word, kind of non-technical, broad brush kind of conversations where they can't sort of, they don't want to get into the weeds of it.
It was an advisory referendum peddled on lies. Demonstrably
it was, and we
so.
know that, and it was. So it would be actually quite easy, probably constitutionally or legally, to overturn it. It would be quite straightforward. Whether the EU would make it easy for us would be a different story. But with Labour in control, then maybe, but anyone else, probably not. But anyway, yeah, so Lewis Goodall was talking about it in reference to Labour's kind of disastrous polling at the moment. And they're like, he's like, well, what have they got to lose? That Labour aren't losing votes to Reform. The Tories are losing votes to Reform, but Labour are losing votes to the Green Party and the Liberal Democrats. So the Green Party, hemorrhaging. Yeah, I think that's actually what he said. That's hemorrhaging votes. Yeah, exactly what Lewis Goodall said. But it's two parties, the Lib Dems and the Greens, who are pro EU, want to rejoin. If Labour joined in, they would get their votes back. Or a progressive coalition that wanted to be part of Europe would absolutely wipe the floor with Reform. They just would.
Well,
it doesn't make any sense not to, in my opinion.
In a way, with Sal's mental gymnastics. Jeez, gymnastics.
Yes. Go on.
I think, in a very strange way, due to the natural course of events, the other thing, one of the other things we're going to be ending up talking about is the recently reported Reformatives coalition.
Yes.
And I think the natural consequence of that is going to mean everybody else has got to band together, which
that's it.
I suspect will mean come election time, because the Reform ain't going to do it on their own. They know that. That's why they're doing this.
No, they can't. They definitely can't, yeah.
So if the Greens, the Lib Dems and Labour, and for what it's worth, your party, band together against them, that will force
Yeah.
a coalition of the left for the next government,
Yeah.
and that would be the
It would.
best fucking outcome we could hope for. So I think
100%.
Reform, in their backwards way, are doing us a service of forcing
Yeah, you
Labour
might
to
be
have
right.
to team up. So
Yeah.
I think by hook or by crook, we're going to get there because we're all very determined, dogged people, and we're none of us going to let up. But also, just to add to that, something I've not mentioned because it's essentially spurious rumour, but this does play into me hearing from somebody I trust implicitly.
Yeah.
Has a connection very close to top. And sometimes they drink. And I heard the rumour that it was being worked on behind unbelievably closed doors. So I just sort of pinned that and thought, well, we'll see how that goes. But that would fall into that's it. Why he's trying to, I just don't know why he's trying to soft soap the right. He should have just come in to go, well, I suppose the Morgan McSweeney's IO connection, isn't it? Which I'm not erudite enough at the minute to go into, but it just, there was just no need for him to doff his cap to the patriarchy. He could have just come in and just been a socialist, and God, it's pathetic.
I don't think it even needs to go that
big
far.
Business, isn't it?
Just, well, yeah. No, I know, I agree. I saw on, I think it's Channel 4 News, Kathy Newman had Stephen Kinnock on, and he'd basically been sent out to talk down the rumours about Brexit because they were starting to gather momentum during this week, the last week or so. So he admitted that Brexit has been a huge act of economic self-harm, which is a good step from Labour because, the little bits that here and there, they're just eking out.
But look, it's not an opinion thing, though. The facts are there.
No, of course it's not.
And they're stark, and they get starker with every month that rolls around. It's like, madness.
No, absolutely. But politically, they've been so cagey about it and they've shut it down. But now they're just starting to let little bits go through.
What are the recent polls? 70-odd% are in favour of rejoining.
Rejoining, yeah, it's absolutely insane. Yeah, no, there's no logical reason to stay in the situation we are, and we're losing money hand over fist. Our economy's just stuck. It's just stuck, and there's no way to pull it out.
I saw somebody being in. They asked, was it a Dutch woman in Holland, I think it was, or somewhere in Europe? It was, or maybe a German in Germany. What do you think of Brexit? And she said, well, why would you cut the branch off that you're sitting on?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, correct. 100%. It's just madness, and it just. We just have to make sure. I think what you're saying about Reform is right, and I think they are pushing the three main parties together. The little Plaid and your party, if they're still around, whatever, will be in the background. But the three main left, centre-left progressive parties form a coalition around rejoining the EU. They will absolutely put Nigel Farage in kicking into the sea for good.
Do you know what they could do?
What?
Hypothetically, and I've got to credit Paul with this idea, but if the Greens, the Lib Dems and your party got together now, they could form a list of wants that they would take to Labour to join with them, to give them what they need. And that could be, make everything more equal in all the ways we've been discussing. But that you're holding the balls to the fire then, aren't you? What are they going to do? They're going to risk going up against the Tories and Reform on their own. Best of luck, lads.
I really don't think
we'd have a hung parliament.
Yeah, exactly. And then it'd just end up having to be a coalition anyway. So
it's entirely plausible that Reform. Come on then, Reform. Well done. Keep it
Farage's
up,
master plan falls at the final hurdle. Yeah, I mean, we may as well talk about that briefly now because of what happened. Because that's a nice segue into
what we're on to now. Huh?
Jonathon Gullis joining this Reform.
Oh, the Gibbon himself.
Oh man, and they celebrated it. They were like, "Oh look, we got another Tory, Jonathon Gullis." For fuck's sake, man!
The Asda interview didn't go his way.
No, it did not.
So
I wrote
he had
a bit
to go
in my
back
article.
And join Reform. Oh,
I said,
and what was it he said? That there's not a cat's chance he'll ever join Reform. Didn't even get the saying.
No. I mean, there's barrel scraping and then there's Jonathon Gullis. It's just like crazy.
Oh.
But I wrote an article about it.
He's just the man that you're tempted to bully, isn't he? You can't help
it. Makes it too easy. But I just looked at it for my article in the week and I wrote down all the different Tories that have joined Reform. And there are, and this is not local council level, this is MP level. And there's 16 of them now. So there's a football team plus 5 subs available to Reform FC if they want to have a team of Tories.
What's the problem with that, though?
What's the problem with that?
Well, they've got nobody to cover the left wing, have they?
Yeah. Yeah, as I put a little football graphic out on my
perpetually
article.
Perpetually
flawed. Yeah. My little graphic was like a little football squad layout, but everyone underneath the comments was like, yeah, you've got too many people on the left wing. I was like, yeah, all right, fine. I'll re-edit it at some point when I've got 2 minutes. But yeah, 16 at the moment. And today it came out Christopher Hope has been absolutely like a monkey bashing out on his keyboard today about Nigel Farage. And one of the things that he spat out was that Nigel Farage has said Jenrick he's waiting for the call from Robert Jenrick or something along those lines. Which
that'd be hilarious. But yeah, I reckon that's the Zio network. Have you noticed? Tommy Robinson's back in the fold since Tice went over to Israel. Didn't they take a delegation over last week or something?
There was like 14 Lancashire councillors went to Israel, yeah.
Oh, because that sounds necessary. But
exactly.
Since they came back, Tommy Robinson's A-OK with Reform now.
Yeah, he seems to be kind of wheedled back in again now, doesn't he? Coincidentally.
They've been Israel washed.
But yeah.
It's
yeah, maybe.
We're being dictated to by other countries, and now it's games for these sickos. It's real life risk, and they don't give a shit because they're perpetually protected. How dare they? Well, they're the very worst people to be in charge of anything.
I know.
Ever.
I know. I just wrote in my article that I think Farage always was a Conservative. He was a Tory member from 1978 until 1992, fully paid up. So was Richard Tice. The only reason Farage left the Tories was because of the Maastricht Treaty and joining the EU. And he was like, no, I'm not doing that. But
and then he went and got himself a plum job instead, working in the EU.
Yeah, exactly. Working in the European Parliament, of all places. But yeah, I just think Farage he's made no secret of wanting to be the leader of the Conservative Party. He's mentioned it in the past, and it's this. And my theory is that it's just going the long way round. He's just started up Reform, hoovering up all the old Tories, and he's going to just end up being the leader of the Conservatives by the back door, effectively. He's just...
Can we trademark Reformatives? Because I'm fucked if I'm having him nicking it.
I know, yeah. We need to have a look at that. Yeah, definitely. I thought the New Conservatives, but of course Reformatives worked much better.
He can buy it off me for £9 million.
Yeah. Well, they've got plenty of that. They could easily get that money? As of today. Yeah, not crypto.
No.
But in my tortured football analogy, they've got their black shirts, their away shirts now that they can all wear.
How is that still a thing?
Yeah, it's illegal. That's something I was going to come on to in a bit, but we mentioned it last week briefly. But let me find my post. I looked into it properly, and in my eyes, what they've done. Where is it? No, I've got too many tabs open. It's nuts. Here it is. Yeah, so on their website, they're selling these black shirts, which they people were telling me it sold out by Sunday, which I think there's still like over 350 left. So out of or something like that, or 350
Yeah, there's
sold out.
1,000 of them, but I believe they are not individually numbered, are they?
No, they're not. They're not.
Which limited collection things generally are.
Yeah, well, I've seen pictures of Lee Anderson, Alison Pearson, some Reform Council lady wearing one.
It's not even a good thing. It's tat.
But what they've done is, when you go to their website and you try to buy one, they make you pay £1 for a lottery ticket to win lunch with Farage. Or it says a group lunch. It doesn't actually say lunch with him.
Yeah, in the same room as.
Yeah, he'll be around somewhere. Meat. No, you're not allowed to meet him. Well, you have to be vetted as well. But what this is, they've written it under their terms and conditions as part of a small society lottery. But I looked into it, and according to the Gambling Act of 2005, the society running the lottery must be non-commercial, non-profit in purpose, charities, sports clubs, community organisations, etc., and cannot be run for private or commercial gain. So it's illegal. They're breaking the law. They've registered it with Westminster Council as a small society lottery, but they can't. They're not a charity. No.
So do we need to ask Westminster Council why they've sanctioned it when it's not legal?
I have. No, because they don't have to report it to Westminster Council for 3 months after the lottery's taken place. So they've registered it with the council, but then they don't have to report what the details of the lottery are for up to 3 months. So I assume they're just hoping people will forget, but I won't. So, but then there's another part is that there's another part where it says that if the entry to a draw is contingent on payment, there must generally be a free entry route available to avoid classification as an unlawful lottery. This is a different rule they've broken. And if no free entry route is offered, and entry is effectively forced via purchase, the promotion would likely be deemed an illegal lottery. So that's 2 regulations they're in breach of.
Okay, well, what we also need to do.
Go on.
Unless you've already done it and I'm pissing on your chips again, sorry. We need to work. We need to find out what the consequences are and work backwards, because if it's a 10 grand fine, they won't give a shit.
No, that's true.
They'll do it anyway. Which I suspect is why this is still happening.
Oh yeah, I think that's the case with all of their stuff, because I think I mentioned it last week. One of my contacts has reported them to the ICO, the Information Commissioner's Office, who have opened a case against them for data harvesting on a website. And
which they're continuing to do, aren't they?
Well, they released another website today. It's saying letthepeoplevote.com, and it's exactly the same thing they're under investigation for, which is you can't fill in the petition unless you give them your email address and all your details, which is not legal. So, but I think that's probably exactly what's happening, is that they run the risk of, 20 grand fine or whatever. But when people like Christopher Harborne are dumping 9 million quid on them in one go, they're like, well, who gives a fuck? We'll just pay the fines and carry on. It's not right. It's not. But
no.
As I said before, people like Ofcom and things like that, they're just not fit for purpose, because they can't turn the tanker quick enough. Sorry.
No, it's accurate.
To investigate these people. Yeah, they just can't. Because the Reformer, like the guys on the market stall that used to do the, what they're called, I've forgotten, the shell game and stuff. And they'd have a lookout and the police would come and then they'd just pack up and leg it. And then you just set up again. They're exactly like that.
That very much still exists in major cities around Europe. Right?
Yeah, no, I've seen it in London, but I was just pictures of movies and old TV shows from the 80s when it was
Snake Oil Salesman, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's what they're like. They just get found out, pack up, move on to the next bit and start again. And because it's all digital, they can do it like within minutes. And the ICO and the Ofcom and the Parliamentary Standards Commissioner, they haven't got they just can't keep up with them. They're just moving far too quickly to be dealt with.
And I suspect that's because there've been cuts to be dealt with over the last 15 years. And all those people in those offices now don't exist. And the people that do exist are in on it. Essentially, they generally tend to be directors of former corporate companies. Yeah. Because they've got the knowledge of how to bend the system towards their mates.
I know.
So, and that is generally across the board. If you check with any of these Ofgem, Ofcom, Ofwats,
Yeah.
they're all former fucking directors of industry, and it's a
Yeah, of course.
stitch up.
Yeah.
They're the
Michael
very
Grade,
worst
isn't it?
people to be in charge.
Yeah. Is it Michael Grade at Ofcom? It is, isn't it? Yeah.
He's just an industry sponge, isn't
Well, that's what you said. They're all the same. Yeah. I know. So, sorry, that was a chat about Brexit that spun off into reform, but it's all the same thing, really, isn't it? So, but there's just one thing on that Lewis Goodall with Victoria Derbyshire. Just one last thing. He was on with Poppy Coburn, who's a writer for The Telegraph, I believe, deputy comment editor at The Telegraph. And she was in agreement with Lewis Goodall. She said, this is the way that Labour win their votes and campaign on rejoining the EU. That's a no-brainer for Labour. You know, it's like, if someone from The Telegraph is saying that.
Part of their May strategy?
Sorry. I think it should be. I don't know if it will be. I don't know if they're that smart. I don't know.
Well, they're gonna... They are going to struggle in May, I think we can all agree.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be a 2-horse race to the bottom in May between the Tories and Labour, I reckon. But I think the Greens and Reform are the ones to watch, obviously, in May, but we'll see. But yeah, it just, even if you've got people from the Telegraph saying, Labour should be looking at going back into the EU, it just makes sense it just doesn't make any sense not to. So we'll see. Watch this space again.
By every metric, though, it's just, I don't get it.
Yeah, no, it is. Every single data point now shows you that Brexit was ruinous.
Yeah, and whether it was like a great idea that was executed badly or not, it doesn't matter now, because the badly executed thing is having real world consequences, and that's done for years.
Exactly. But,
without Brexit, they wouldn't have people on boats to shout at, would they? So.
No, that's true. No, I think that's being generous, saying it was an idea executed badly. It was a terrible idea executed terribly, but...
Oh, no, I don't think that, but that is what a lot of people...
No, I know you don't. I know.
Who were conned say.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. No, I agree with you. It's completely, but... Yeah, we got... What year? 3.5 years, roughly, till the election. So campaigning really is going to start within a year, I'd say, after the locals next year, probably next
There's
summer.
There's a march in, is it May? Because the annual September-October one was cancelled because it clashed with like all the other protests we've got going on at the minute. So I think there's one in May, but we'll update
a Brexit
when
march?
we know better. Yeah, rejoin.
Oh, cool.
I've been every year for the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
Guess me at the house.
Yeah, I've not been to. But yeah, I'll definitely have to come to that. Talking of marches, I've lost it. The Together Alliance.
Oh yeah, that was a bit of good news this week, wasn't it?
That popped up this week is brilliant. Just going to find it. Bear with. Talk amongst yourselves.
You're all right, Miranda. In your own time.
Here it is. Yeah, Together Against the Far Right. It's the Together Alliance, UK Together, all on Twitter, and I'll link to it down below. Yeah. And they're marching on March the 28th, is it? I think next year. But I think you and I said we should definitely be there. Yeah, 28th of March
next
year. If
anybody in London wants to put me up, please.
Yeah. Yeah, and me. Save me a hotel. But yeah, no, we'll sort something out, and we'll definitely be there as well.
Yeah.
Because it's called Together Against the Far Right, and it says, join us to unite our communities in love, hope and unity, and march in London in unity and against the far right. And I think that couldn't be more vital, crucial. Go on.
Tan posted something the other day, I think it was in New York, and it was a far right protest. So like people had turned up to protest ICE, and then of course the far right turned up to stick with ICE because Jesus, what's wrong with them? But the people on the left they have music boxes, amplifiers. That's the word I was looking for. Amplifiers and music playing, and they were just all dancing. It was brilliant.
Yeah,
and I think that's the way forward: is happiness, dancing, and rather than
Yeah,
standing
exactly.
there screaming, enjoy yourself. Nothing upsets them more.
Exactly, that's it. It's like you talked about a few weeks ago, and we put a clip in of Robbie. I've forgotten his name now. Robbie Reindeer,
Robbie
I want to say, but the guy,
Yeah.
the
Something
guy
like
who's
that.
protesting ICE, but dressed up as whatever he was dressed up as a dinosaur with blaring
Oh, he's
country
got
music
several
and
costumes, I think. Yeah.
yeah. But
Robbie the Roadster, I
that's
think
exactly
it is.
what they were doing. That Robbie Roadster, that's it. Yeah. So yeah. But it's the same principle of don't fight them at their own game because they'll win because they're angrier than everybody else. Fight them with music and fun and partying, and then they just
being
go
happy.
They don't know what to do. Yeah, exactly. They can't cope with it. It's impossible for them.
I know I've said it before, but that awful far-right thing in Liverpool last year, just after the Southport issue, murders, sorry, but literally nothing made them angrier than when I just stood and smiled.
Yeah.
It was mad.
Their brains can't compute.
What's wrong with you?
It's just, exactly. Yeah. No, it's exactly that. Their brains don't understand how to deal with people being, well, the direct opposite of how they are. So yeah.
Oh, I was such a slag for smiling.
Oh yeah. Is that what they said? Is that one of the
and a nonce, obviously. Obviously, I was a nonce for smiling.
Standard. Oh God, I don't know how many times a day I get called that.
Oh, and you'll be a psychiatrist, will you?
Yeah, exactly.
Unbelievable.
So, well, I know.
Should we wrap up and do part 2?
Yeah, let me just do one more thing on that before we come back in part 2, because it's kind of interesting and links. There was a thing in the week, I'll just open it up, which I think Ofcom are actually going to have to do something about, because I think it's been reported by lots of MPs. Connor Tomlinson, the Catholic hate preacher.
I know what it is. I know what it is, yes.
Well, he was on GB News in the week for something called GB News Originals with Stephen Edgington. And he basically went on a gigantic racist rant, and he said things like, sons and daughters of India, Pakistan, Bangladesh should not be in this country. We should not ban those without native British ancestry from being MPs, close our doors to the third world. Like anyone brown-skinned, he's basically said he wants rid of. And this was on GB News. So the GB News have crossed the line there, I think. They don't normally have outright racism on there. They have a lot of innuendo and sort of nods and winks towards it, but that guy was properly full-on racist.
We used to have psychiatric units for these people. Yeah. And I'm not throwing shade, I'm being actually serious.
Yeah,
because people
big problem
who speak and behave like him used to have families where at least 1 or 2 people would go, you can't say that, that's unacceptable.
Yeah, exactly. And now he's on GB News saying it.
Now it's profitable to do it. It's different. Except it fucking isn't.
No. I agree. There should be something done about that for sure, and I hope Ofcom actually move on this, because it has been reported by.
Is that not hate speech?
So. It is hate speech. It's racist hate speech. Of
so
course
nick him. Why isn't he getting nicked?
I don't know.
Hate
Maybe
speech for any unlikely rightoids that might be listening. Hate speech has been a thing for a long time, and you've been able to be arrested for it for a long time. It's not a new thing. It's got nothing to do with Keir Starmer. It's about intent, because people who say these things believe them. The reason people don't find them funny anymore is because humour comes from the ridiculous, and unfortunately we're becoming savage again, and very unlikely things are no longer ridiculous.
Yeah, very true.
Very
true.
And this is why when people say these things and genuinely mean them, it is a red flag to a psychological disorder that could be detrimental to other people. That is why we clamp down on it in the first instance, if anybody needed an explainer, which I'm sure most of our gang don't. But just putting it out there.
Yeah, as you say, we're getting new listeners every week, so so that's one for the newbies if you're listening.
Welcome.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah.
I rant.
Yeah, so...
Sorry.
That's absolutely fine. But you're right. I mean, everything you say is correct, and he does need
not
dealing
everything,
with
love. Let's not generalise.
Well,
I try my best.
but this guy needs an intervention, whether it's criminal or psychological. Someone needs to step in on this. Yeah, I agree.
He's in the tape void, isn't he?
Yeah, he's 100% in that. But I wasn't going to mention it, but Tommy Robinson's announced a London meetup for Christian carols and a Christian service. But this guy's part
Tel
of
Aviv
it.
Steve.
Sorry, yes. To call him by his new current name. Yeah. But he's announced this massive meetup in London where he's asking, obviously, for money, of course, because you need...
Yeah, he must be really hard up with all his $15 a year.
Yeah. But apparently he needs money to get people in Trafalgar Square to sing carols, so he's on the grift. But he's roped in loads of these kind of fake preacher type people that are extreme Christians. So,
well, let's hope it's a very wet day. Right.
Yeah, let's hope so. Let's hope so indeed.
We'll have to do our rain dancing.
Couple of weeks.
Music.
So. Yeah.
Oh well, I hope it absolutely pisses down.
That would be nice. That would be good for them. It would be good because then nobody will bother hanging around. Yeah, I don't know what the Christian angle is like with the far right. I don't think they don't really care about it. Like, obviously Robinson and people like that are just making money out of it, but I think his fan base are not Christians as a rule. It's not, it's not going to attract 100,000 people on the streets like he had for his flag march in the summer. So.
Who did I see the other week who said they started going to church?
Don't know.
Oh, somebody terrible on the right. Yeah, and I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, it was Brooks.
Oh, was he? Oh, of course he has. Obviously. Fucking
the pub landlord.
Adam Brooks, what a waste of oxygen. But yeah, no, of course he has to because
of course.
Yeah. Oh, I don't see him much since he blocked me and I then counter-blocked. So I never see him anymore on Twitter, which is nice. It's quite peaceful without his inane bollocks that I used to see quite a lot. So, yeah. On that note, shall we wrap it up and for part 1?
Yeah, for the next episode, I've got... You're going to love this list. In no particular order. Falkland Islands, Putin flags business.
Nice. What have I got? I've got...
Oh, and I'll throw somatics in there as well for anyone who's interested.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. And I've got more reform roundup with a white supremacist council leader, Christopher Harborne chucking millions at reform, and that is probably it. Oh, no, I just wanted to mention about the local elections nonsense that made Farage so angry today.
Oh, is this about the mayors? Because I don't know about that, so great.
Yes, it is. It's about the cancellation of the mayoral elections. So, yes, we'll come back to that in part 2.
So, if you got this far, please like, share, subscribe, do the business, because our algorithms are picking up. And we thank you very much.
They are. Yes. So, and we'll see you in a minute in part 2. Hopefully.
Adios.
Ciao. Bye.